Hi, I'm Engineer Hoist, and this is my review of the Transformers Combiner Wars Devastator! Okay, so here's the whole team. We finally got through all the reviews of each of the individual figures, and here's a group shot. I figured out it to everybody. They look great as a team, and as we know, the Constructicons, they always transformed in two phases to become the Devastator. Scrapper would call out, Constructicons transform phase 1, and they'd all transform into their vehicle mode. And then transform phase 2 is when they all combined into Devastator. So we'll be doing this review very similar to that, except instead of taking them all to their construction vehicles, we'll be taking them to the configurations that they need to be in to be combined into Devastator. So Hook's right out here in front, so let's go ahead and get to him first. And he typically does go back to his vehicle mode. So we'll go ahead and turn the head around. We'll flip the fists in, and we don't really need to peg those in just yet. We will bring this vehicle part back and fold the arms up. And they do sort of tab into a little slot here. It goes in there pretty easily. And we will collapse the legs back. Remember, let's untab it there, so we can sort of accordion that back around. Now he is tabbed in right here, and it is a little tight. I saw in another video where you could sort of shave that down to make it a little bit easier. I haven't done that yet, so it's easiest to leave the legs undone and kind of grab right here and pull, and then it snaps apart. So now we can go ahead and put the legs all the way back in to where they need to be. And then he also comes apart on the other side of the head box of Devastator. And then he tabs into a slot here on the other side. There we go. And this fist obviously has to, or the forearm has to stay down so it can fit. This one can go up. And that's what we'll do. Head reveals always come last if you can help it. Oh yeah, one other thing is you can flip this piece down and flip this piece that's in his chest out. So there's Hook in his mode, except for the head reveal, which, like I said, comes last. So now we'll go ahead and head over to Bone Crusher, and he also goes generally back into his vehicle mode. So we'll take off this back piece here, fold his head in, flip his cab back down, fold up his arms, and rotate them back and around, tab them together, clip on the back part of his vehicle mode. We'll get the legs back into orientation, collapse the feet, collapse the leg, rotate that back around, and tab it in. Same thing on the other side. Collapse his shovel. Now normally you would have this piece down, it would collapse in, but for Devastator mode we actually bring it out and rotate it around so the peg hole is oriented properly. Since he is the left arm, you want that in this orientation like it is, and we'll set him off to the side too. And we've done one arm, let's go ahead and do the other one. Come on, Scavenger. Open up his chest, flip his head in, close up the chest, and then we want to go ahead and fold in his fists. We're basically taking him back to vehicle mode too. So most of them do go back to vehicle modes. And we will break apart his waist here, fold this down and out of the way, bring his arms down together, flip out his cab on this arm, and then fold the arms, back up like that. And now we go ahead and split apart the legs from the hip, fold the hip back to where it clicks there. Rotate this back down. Just like Bone Crusher, we'll go ahead and close up his legs, slide them back in, close up the legs, slide them back in, and rotate the legs back around, and we will tab them into the purple slot here, but not this part here. This part, like on Bone Crusher, this actually comes out to be for Devastator's arm. So we'll go ahead and just bring that in here and tab them on the one side, and here we are. And now he's the right arm of Devastator, so we go ahead and rotate this around again so that the peg hole is facing properly. And let's see, let's go ahead and get to Mixmaster. We can go ahead and we'll flip this piece back and rotate his head in, but we'll go ahead and leave that there and flip out this purple piece here. That's his heel, and rotate his arms back in. But we will leave his fists out like that, and you'll see why once we get to Devastator. Okay, so I promised to show you why we left those arms out on Mixmaster during Devastator review, but I totally forgot. So here they go. We got him here in Devastator, and these stay out. That's because there are ankle tilts, and with those arms, if they were still in the proper configuration for the vehicle mode, you wouldn't be able to do that ankle tilt. And so here's a backside view of that. You can get a pretty decent ankle tilt, and there's been reports I've seen so far that you don't want to go too far because you can actually break him here. And looks like I got a little bit of a cut there. I don't think that's from tilting the ankle too far, but it will actually break him if you tilt him too far. So there's that. And Scrapper also, he's got an ankle tilt as well. So just wanted to make sure I got that in there since I promised it and didn't deliver. All right, back to the review. And now his legs do collapse back in, but we want to leave them apart for right now because we'll take advantage of the ankle tilts and flip those out because we want to pull out these pieces here. Same thing on the other side. Now we can put the legs back together and collapse him back in, similar to where the vehicle mode is. And now there he is as a leg. We'll set him off to the side. Scrapper, we'll put his head in and rotate his fists in. Now see, the instructions actually tell you rotate his fists actually out like that, and then you can rotate his arm until it hits a little notch here like this. Not sure if you could see that. But I found even if you just fold up his fists and use them just like this, he actually stands pretty well. And I think having the fists actually out there looks a little kind of weird because it's just like little fists sitting out there on his ankle. So then you go ahead and put the arms in, and they do tab in, and we can bring his feet, take the back part of the leg, fold it up, and this is the, as we're holding him like this, that's this left side of the leg. Then we'll take this other side of the leg, and again, there's this tab here where it doesn't really tab together sideways. You kind of got to fold it over. So we'll go ahead and do that. That's all together, and these parts stay out. These act as the same parts as what we flipped out from Mixmaster a moment ago. And now you take his shovel, and be careful of this. I actually pinched myself on this the other day, so be careful as you're moving his little scoop. So you'll take that out, flip it all the way this way. It's not really a click, but you can feel it actually holds pretty good. And then we'll fold this all the way in until you get a nice little click. And now Scrapper is in his leg mode. We'll put him off to the side, and now long haul. he's almost where he needs to be. We'll go ahead and straighten out his head so we can flip that in. The arms are there. We'll take his forearms and just sort of flip them up the wrong way, and they do sort of not really click, but they do sort of tab. And we'll go ahead and get fold his legs back up. That was the alternate leg transformation. If you had the normal transformation, you would go ahead and flip in his long haul feet there, and then we'll go ahead untab the bed and rotate the waist around, and we can go ahead and tab the bed back in. Well, I guess we want to go ahead and flip out these what were his knee pads or his alternate feet. He's got some heavy ratchets in there, and you'll see why when you see how gigantic Devastator is. We'll go ahead and flip these parts out, get the legs straight, put the bed back in. You can't really see it, he's getting really huge. And we'll open up these panels right here. Okay, so now there's Long Haul. He's all ready to form Devastator. So that's phase one, and I'll go ahead and reorient the camera so we can get a good wide angle shot and get everybody together for phase two. Okay, here we are with phase two. We've got the Constructicons already set to go merge into Devastator, and we do have a couple of little bits to put together for the arms. So we take these missile pods, and you go ahead and you rotate them out, and then you go ahead and rotate the arms, and you really got to hold it here, because if you don't, the arm joint is really tight, and if you don't hold it here, it wants to just sort of spin the whole arm, the fist, out of the arm part. So that is the right fist, and we do the same thing with the left. Get that set to go. So now what we actually do is you got a little peg inside here and the peg hole, and just peg it on there. Same thing on the other side. And there's your arms. All right. And so now we're going to go ahead and put the legs on Devastator. So first you take Long Haul and make sure these flips are open, because they do sometimes close if you're not careful. Now what we're actually going to do is there's a little tab piece right here, and it goes into the bottom part of the leg, and then these pieces will actually tab in right up in here. So there we go. And that one you kind of got to flex that in, because it doesn't go in quite as easily. And there's that. Do the same thing with Scrapper. He's a little bit easier because he doesn't have the extra little bits in the front there, plus his feet will actually angle down to get past the Long Haul legs. So we will go ahead and do that. Let's get this on. Get these in and clipped. And there we go. You can see he's already getting huge. And that's just the legs and Long Haul. And actually, you can actually make it pretty funny right here. Flip out the arms, flip up his head, and Long Haul's got magic legs now. so anyway, go ahead and get him back where he's supposed to be. So now you take Hook, and you've got this post here. You got this clip here, goes into the top of Long Haul. The little post goes into his smokestack, and the clip goes into the top of his cab there. And also underneath, I forgot to mention, there's this little slot right here on this foot and a slot right here on the chest. They actually go into these little tabs here on Longhaul's arm to kind of hold his arm, since they don't really tab it anywhere. And I'll tell you, it doesn't really work very well tabbing in, but it's good enough where it holds them pretty steady. So we will go ahead and get down in frame, clip it together, and you generally have to arrange the arms of Longhaul after the fact to get that all in there. So there's that. He's coming together pretty nice now. And I forgot a couple parts on hook. We actually open this up and flip out this clip on that side for the arm, and get in here and flip out this clip on the side of his crane there. And on Bone Crusher, you've got the little hole right here, just sort of clips in. There we go. And then he also tabs in, the back side of the wheel tabs into Longhaul's arm. There's a tab there. And that actually helps hold the Longhaul's arms more securely as well. So there's that. And then we basically do the same thing on the other side for Scavenger. And you can see there's the tab. Same thing on the other side. So we'll go ahead and get Scavenger. Put him in. We'll get him tabbed. All right, almost there. So now we've got the chest pieces, his chest shield, and it just sort of goes in. There's a little hole on the side, just line that up, and it clips in, and then this side clips in. So now we've got 2 tabs here and 2 tabs on the other side. And those actually tab in to Devastator on these on the wheels for Scavenger and Bone Crusher. And you also have this little black tab here, tabs in this little hole here on hook. Now this is not the easiest thing in the world to do, but oh yeah, one last thing, probably the easiest thing to line up is you got this little hole over here on hook and a peg on the side there. That's probably the easiest way to line it up. And there we go. Got it started there. Got that. And almost got it on. There we go. Now we got that on, and like I said, you always save the head reveal for last. And there he is, the mightiest of all gestalts, of all combiners, Devastator. Now, as strong as he is, he still needs a gun. Comes with 2 pieces, and you just slide one piece into the other. Very much just like all the other Combiner Wars figures. And he can hold it, sort of. Doesn't tab in or clip in or anything, so it does actually tend to fall out if you move him around a little bit. Just like that. I did that on purpose to, to demonstrate. Overall, he is very posable. You can move the arms out, and I guess it's the first time that's happened to me. It is a little loose there, I guess. his hands do open, and he's got his legs are up pretty high, and they do tend to use the long haul legs do tend to move a little bit too. It'd be nice if those kind of locked in. One issue that I found is with this bone crusher, that piece tends to fall off pretty easily. So other than that, he's really nice looking. He's actually a very sturdy figure. So I guess we need to do some comparisons. We will bring in Leader Class Megatron, who is completely dwarfed by Devastator here. Okay, so now let's go ahead and bring in the Make Toys version of Devastator, the Green Giant. And you can see he's actually quite a bit smaller. He scales well with the other combiners generally, but Titan Class Devastator here is just in a class of his own. And so there's that. And one last comparison. We've got Titan Class Devastator here. Biggest combiner ever. Well, we also happen to have another Titan class over here, Metroplex, proclaimed as the biggest bot ever. And he's so big he doesn't even fit in the frame. So you can see, as big as Devastator is, he's still about chest height for Metroplex. So that's actually Devastator's actually a little too tall for Metroplex there, but Metroplex actually is a little smaller because I mean he's supposed to be a city, for crying out loud. So in reality, of course, this scale with Transformers doesn't mean anything. In reality, Metroplex, everybody would be practically unseeable. So anyway, so here is Devastator. We'll get him up close here, and so there we go. Hope everybody's enjoyed these reviews. I've certainly enjoyed making them, and so please like and share this video, and subscribe to my channel for more. And I'm Engineer Hoist. Thanks for watching.